So using ZNS as an example, what are some of the costs? How much could a ransomware attack cost an organization? Now, to be clear, I'm not talking about the cost that the attackers are charging you, because I don't think you should pay the ransom. But I'm talking about the actual cost surrounding the ransom, the cybersecurity event, right? So I'm gonna run down about six or so categories that you have to consider, and I think once companies think through what the potential ramifications are of an attack, it just makes sense to take preventative measures. And those preventative measures, like I said in a previous video, is cybersecurity training for all employees, and make sure you have a backup and reliable recovery program in place. Also, patch your systems and make sure you have endpoint security. So cybersecurity is a layered approach, and no one thing is going to keep you safe. But if you have all of it together, it makes it that much more difficult for your hackers to affect you. So let's look at some of the costs that companies can incur in the category. So first of all, you got hacked. What's the first thing you need to do? You need to have a response. So your response cost, like, do you have to call in some vendor? If you don't have a um, contract with anybody in place, you may have to just go out and get a security expert to come and look at your systems right there. There's that cost. Um, there's a loss of productivity. Your systems are encrypted, are hacked. Nobody can do work. Um, Everybody's just sitting around twiddling their thumbs. There are things that you should be doing that you cannot currently do, like you can't produce the news, right? So there's loss of productivity. There's a competitive uh, issue, right, where you're losing out to your competitors because now, um, ZNS couldn't produce the news. The other news stations got all the viewers, and ZNS may lose the viewers that they currently have, the position they have against their competitors. And certainly they probably lost revenue from um, the advertisers on their network. You have reputation damage. You get hacked. Obviously, it's a bad look for the entire nation to see that your systems are down. You cannot produce the news. It's more reputational damage for the company. Now, I'm not going to make any jokes about the current reputation of the company, but reputational damage is a cost you have to consider. Um, Competitive costs, loss of productivity, reputation costs, response costs, replacement cost. So how much your systems have been hacked, your servers have been hacked, you may have to replace them and buy a new service. And then there's potentially legal costs, like you could face fines, depending on our laws. You could face fines if somebody data was breached. You could probably face, a lawsuit, uh, any number of them, and then legal costs. So these are some of the categories that you can face or you should consider when considering investing in cybersecurity.